Okay, excuse me. This is after the horrible debt service reserve account. Let's go to a maintenance reserve account. Now, I hope this will not be as just painful and horrible as the debt service reserve account. In this exercise, I've split it up into two. In the first exercise, I put some standard kind of stuff about a model and assume we have a debt tenor of 30 years. I didn't put the debt tenor in, the debt schedule in, but I'll put the date in. Now, for the first case, it's hard to imagine anything simpler. Every 5 years, 10 periods, make an expenditure of 100,000. That's it. We don't have to make the expenditure after the debt repayment period. That's perhaps the only little tiny trick of the whole thing. We have to make the expenditure. We don't have to have the reserve account. Now, the second case, I don't know if I'm going to get that right. The second case is a little bit different. This time, we have the same sort of starting assumptions, but the dates vary, the expenditures vary. And to get the dates, we start with the commercial operation date and then go across. So this must be times F6, so that's times the 6 periods per year, so we're making various expenditures at different times. Again, we need to stop afterwards, so we've got varying expenditures and varying time periods. Now, if we want to, let's work on the simple case, and the simple case will give us kind of ideas on how to work through things. So if we start in period 1, if we want to know when make a true and a false, whenever it's something that's divisible by 10, we can take the mod, what does it stand for, of the period number and compare it to the other thing, and when that's equal to 0, we have a spend period. Okay, I have made my first sheet. Okay, sorry about this. This is a reflection of the obsolete nature of this program. Sorry about this. So if we press, let's do our old wasted time thing, true and false, shift control T and shift control F, you can see that 1 out of 10 periods is a spend period. That's the modular, but that's the place you really want to, that's the thing you want to really do. Now the next thing, I don't think we need this one initially. Okay, the next one that we should look at is our spend amount, and that's simply going to be, we put it up here, that's our 10,000, and let's take that number and multiply that by the spend period thing, okay? And then the periods between the spend, well, that's just always going to be our 10 periods. That's nothing really exciting. Okay, and the next thing, we can put a repayment switch, which is whenever this date, why don't I put our date over here, and whenever this date is less than, put less than, not less than or equal that, okay? And then we can now we have to put the spend amount here, but this time we multiply this by our debt repayment, so we don't include any debt repayment after the debt repayment period. In fact, why don't we do this? Kind of silly, but reminds you how to do some of these things. Okay, we'll go all the way to the end, and we'll make a conditional formatting and use our new rule and test here. We'll do this. Whoops. We'll do this rule on just the repayment switch. Okay, and I think we have to press the F4 key here so we can get them all formatted, and we'll do some sort of hopefully light colors. Maybe can we make if we do okay, maybe that's a little bit light. What happens if we do here? I don't know. What a waste of time. Sorry about that. I've done this on a video. Oh my gosh. So that's after our debt repayment period. Then, even though we have another expenditure here, we don't put that into the category. Now, once we have this, we can take our contribution to the account, which is this divided by the 10, okay, and Shift Control R, and then we can make our balance and say, well, we're going to have our opening balance equal to our closing balance. The contributions are here, and the spend amounts are just adjusted for the debt repayment. We're just going to keep this account only for over the debt repayment period. Okay, and then when we do this, oh no, what happened here? This was supposed to be the contribution. Just a minute. Okay, sorry about this. This contribution this number should have just been simply the 1,000 times the true, and then this contribution should have been simply this one divided by the 10. Finally, the opening balance versus the amount of the contributions, and then this was the spend amount, but multiplied the spend amount by the debt repayment switch. Okay, so that's that exercise. It's frankly almost easier now to set it up in a little more sophisticated way, just like I had discussed. Whoops. We set a little table with expenditures and how much this periods from prior. What should we name this? This is the period since the last expenditure. Periods since prior EXP. Okay, something like that. I don't know. Maybe the other one was a better explanation. Okay. Notice that this is got nothing, and our first expenditure again is the commercial operation date. Why did I do that? What's our start? Our commercial operation? This -1. Oh no! So let's make this one this +1. I didn't think I'd do this, and then let's make I can't remember. I suppose this is a monthly model. This comma 1 -1, something like that. Okay, Shift Control R. If it's the operating period is, oh God, why would I waste time with some of this. Okay. The operating period is just whenever it's before this retirement. So I put that at the, it looks like the end of the period. So whenever this is less than this, I hope okay. And then spend for period. So spend for period, well, that's, oh yeah, what we do is look up on this date and look up the expenditures. I'm going to try a little bit different. Look up. How about look up one? How about we click on this one and then click on this one. But first we have to click on the date. We're testing it again. So we have dates that are at the beginning of the month. This date and this date. And Shift Control R. And first date should be 1 May of 17. Uh-oh. Okay. And of course, okay, I got too fancy for my, because, well, we would have had to lock in those. I think it's better to simply lock them in like this. Okay. Where was the May 17? 14, 15, 16, 17. And I did this completely wrong again because we need an exact match, don't we? Ah, come on. I suppose that's good. How this exercise really will be a lot about a match and index, actually. Let's put 0 first, and then after that, let's put an index and select these. That's the F4 key. Okay. So, oh, fantastic shit. Oh, come on. Okay, I just made a mistake with locking things, so now we're okay. There we go. Okay. In fact, we can put a spend period switch. Actually, I can't do it for that one. If is just a is number on this one, right? And then, why don't we do exactly the same thing we did just before? Not exactly the same thing. But if we wanted to make a conditional formatting on that, once again, conditional formatting, new rule. We're going to use a new rule. And this new rule will be we'll click on that one, and the new rule will be that little true and false switch we just made. So when this one and press the F4 key. Okay, I'll do it by hand. And when that one is, let's just format this as some really light color. Okay. Did it work? Yes. So we can kind of see conditional formatting again. Now let's put our debt repayment switch in here. And our debt repayment switch, again we used for some reason it's got the ending. So as long as this ending balance is greater than, I'm not sure if it's equal to or not, but I'll just put it there. No, this has to be less than, how about less than or equal to? No idea why. Okay, and whoops, one more. Okay, and then we have spend period, a spend period for the repayment. So it's somewhat similar to this. So if, how about, two things are true. This thing is true and that thing's true. Then we'll put in our spend, otherwise 0. Shift Control R. So let's see what happened here. If we go to our first one, yeah, there it is. Again, that conditional formatting, to see why we insert a line that doesn't remember the formatting, keep going, this is still true, this is still true, whoops. You know, we better put something a little more interesting here. Or, alternatively, it didn't go far enough. It looks like it went to the old Excel. Okay, Control R, copy, and I'm not going to test it because let's just finish this horrible thing. And now let's match this, not against the current date, so let's match. Told you this was a lot about match and index. Okay, let's match this date, always this date. But this time, we're going to match it against the next date. So we're going to see if we're going to look for the next period expenditure rather than the current expenditure. See how that works? And this time, don't put a 0 in. This time we'll, whoops. Oh, I guess we had an NA because of the first one. So after this one, we get a 1. And that's not what I want. Okay, that was very, very embarrassing, and I wish I could go back and erase that, and I probably could, but it's not really worth that much time for my 1 or 2 people who might ever watch this video. Here's how we should have done it. We should have just used the regular old approximate match. And again, this about match and index. Take that and just, okay, and press the F4. And no 0. This time it would be 1. Shift Control R. Index this time is the index on the spend periods. This is this one, but we don't notice I'm not starting here. That's the big trick. I'm starting just down here. Okay, and when I do that and go up to the match, then it's looking 1 period ahead. There's somebody in my class who taught me this. I used to do these crazy things. Now we can get the next MRA, but we have to make sure and get it only for this one. So we take this spend period and we multiply it by this date has to be greater than or equal to the debt repayment period. Okay. Oops. What did I do wrong? That date this has to be less than. Okay. And so we don't include the last one because it's not made during the repayment period. So then we put an index again, and this time we select these just like we did for the prior dates, and we go up to the match once again. Okay, oops. Oh no! What happened there? Okay, this is I need a break. Okay, and now let's just see. So we I can't really look at all these, but okay enough. So at least it changed it in the right place. And then our contributions are just this divided by this. Okay. I suppose we better, just in case, make an if statement. We're dividing it by this. Okay. And then let's put the opening... Shush! And make the opening balance equal the closing balance.
Happy New Year.
Oh.
If you had video editing software on YouTube.
Okay, so that was... I am sorry about that embarrassing moment there. The withdrawals are going to be the prospective. They're going to be... excuse me, we're not going to do that. They're going to be spend for the period multiplied by the debt repayment, and instead of multiplying, let's just put if. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing. If and we don't really need an and. If two things are true, then we'll take the spend for the period. Otherwise, I'll put in 0. Okay, I could have done that with just a switch. Opening balance plus the amount you contribute. Closing balance. Shift Control R. Let's look at what happens in our famous periods. Shit. Okay, apparently I had neglected to realize that we were using 6 months rather than, so I had to make an EO month instead for the end of the period. And now our everything seems to be working. Let's see if we can just do one thing. Let's just try this for the first time. Oops. Okay, I was going to do a formatting, but I'm going to stop the video. And as usual, you can look at the exercise, and as usual, I shouldn't really make advertising in this one again, but www.financeenergyinstitute.com. Okay? I don't care if you give me a like or any of that crap. Just look at that website. Bye.